Again he said, "What shall we say the kingdom of God is like? Or, what parable shall we use to describe it? It is like a mustard seed, which is the smallest of all seeds on earth. Yet, when planted, it grows and becomes the largest of all garden plants, with such big branches that the birds can perch in its shade."
Earn your Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree at Heston College and become part of their 50-year tradition of outstanding nursing education. Located just 30 minutes north of Wichita, Heston College is a small, Christ-centered private college that provides state-of-the-art training for tomorrow's caregivers. The nursing program has maintained accreditation throughout its 50-year history, and 3 tracks offer you the BSN program you need to meet your goals, whether you are just starting out or building upon your previous education. The RN to BSN program offers hybrid courses scheduled to promote life balance and also offers a special RN to BSN tuition program.
Small class size allows Heston College faculty to get to know and genuinely care for each student. A rigorous, holistic nursing curriculum provides practical hands-on experience in our active simulation lab. You will also gain real-world caregiving experience ranging from neonatal to geriatric and well-respected regional clinical agencies.
From my first contact with Heston College, I could feel the caring atmosphere. The nursing faculty made me feel at home. They walked me through the curriculum, and now as a student, they regularly check in on my life, my family, and my success.
Heston College provides the education and personal attention expected of a top private school at a cost comparable to public institutions. 100% of students who applied for financial aid received aid.
After classroom and clinicals, the ultimate goal is passing the RN licensure exam and getting a job. 98% of Heston College's 1,600 graduates have achieved a RN licensure. Graduates are well respected in the healthcare industry with a great record of job placement. My employer loves hiring Heston graduates and recruits them every spring.
Be a part of the tradition of caring as a Heston College BSN student. Learn more about the Heston College Nursing Program today.
I think one of the benefits of Hesston College Aviation, from my experience, is that Hesston College, in its combination of academics and flight training, while we train quality pilots, our goal still remains the same, and that is to encourage people to be of great integrity.
Then working with Mike is kind of inspiring to me. Like, I want to be able to have the depth of knowledge that he has and be able to pass that on to my students.
So I actually born to want to.
And welcome everyone to Oswald Field here on the campus of Hesston College. Rusty Witcher with you here on the Lark Network. We're kicking off baseball season on what dawned as a good day for baseball, but has quickly soured. Game time temperature is, I had 39 a little bit ago. We'll see what it is right now. We'll double check that. But it is not warm. The wind is blowing out, so fireworks could be on. It's 37. 37 game time temperature right here for Lark baseball. Not ideal, but the Larks getting a start the season off right before they head to Texas. They head down to Texas against Mountain View Community College in a 4-game set this weekend. Lark softball also heading that way too. And we are in full swing of all the sports you can have. It seems that way with baseball, softball, and basketball. Basketball in the stretch run in Jayhawk Conference play. Hey guys, whether you're a fan of the Larks, fan of the Swedes, we would love to hear from you. My number's right there on screen. Go ahead and send us a text at 620-217-1465. Tell us who you are, who you're watching, where you're watching from, and any questions, comments, and feedback about this live Lark baseball broadcast. So it's a busy time of year. It's been a busy week in Lark athletics overall, with Hesston College women and men playing Wednesday, the women playing Thursday, both teams in action, dropping games to Highland on Saturday. Super Bowl was yesterday, and now we're off and running with baseball. Looking forward at the schedule here. Lark baseball or softball will be in action on February 13th right here. We're going to try and get everything up and going for live Lark softball from the brand new Best Mullet Field. Hey, this is the old field here, Oswald Field. It's been here since 1996. I was a freshman at Hesston College when this was being constructed, and they started playing games on it in that spring in 1996. There were about 7 blades of grass, maybe 12 blades of grass. I don't remember. We counted them on the infield at the time. However, it's one of the nice fields in the area, and it plays a lot deeper than what it is. Today it won't. The wind is blowing out. Folks, you're looking straight south. We're straight south. Normally a south wind in Kansas blows in, but today the wind has shifted. It shifted about 10 o'clock. And it is blowing out, so we'll see if the Larks can keep. They had a team ERA of 7.36 last year. They're going to try and keep the ball down and keep it going. Take a look, Lark defensively. Shawn Maple getting the nod, the freshman out in right field. Halen David in center, and Tate Winfield over in right field. Shawn's in left, I should say. Peyton Neiman gets the nod at the hot corner. Robert Salcedo is up the middle at short with Yusei Hondo flanking him to his left at second base. Koi Kuhn, the freshman from Cheney, getting the nod over there at first base. And Kensuke Okada behind the dish with Dane Milburn, the Lark pitcher, on the hill. Batting order here for the Swedes. Tyler Freeman to lead things off. Conor Dunaway will bat second, playing right field. Cameron Bozak is the left fielder in the 3-hole. Zach Kinder, the first baseman, bats cleanup with the designated hitter, James Brandon, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Donnie Dale, second baseman, followed by the catcher, Gage Kennedy. Gabe Barton bats eighth with Eli Bojorquez in center field, rounding out the order. So things we're going to look at this season for Lark baseball. One thing head coach Tim Cole and I talked about as we started this season, finding production at the bottom of the order. Larks were a black hole of doom last season. No matter who was down there, didn't matter if they were swinging a hot bat, moving them down to get a spark, didn't matter, and it went into the black hole of doom. If Tim got a hit out of the game in those final 3 spots, he was happy. But one thing he said as we sat down for the season preview was that he was really excited in seeing how his order is better 1 through 9. So Dane getting the nod on the hill today. He is a sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. And Tyler Freeman will lead things off. Talked with their head coach, Aaron Lastly. His sister, Caitlin, played softball here for 2 years at Hesston College. She's now at Friends. But we talked with him a little bit, and he said their varsity's already 8 games into the season. So Dane will work, and we are close as the final pitch. And we are ready for Lark baseball, as we'll get Grant to kill off the music. We're ready to rock and roll. So Lex Avalos is up here live standing the game. Toby's my cameraman. And Grant's over running scoreboard and doing public address, right? Give me the thumbs up. Tyler Freeman digging in, and away we go. As you can see, the wind blowing out. And you fans are going to lose a little bit in the left and right field corner, and Dane paints the outside corner for a strike. With where we are in the press box, so I'll do my best to describe what's going on. The count 0-1. Dane working from the windup, he'll deliver. Fastball, same spot. And if that's a pitcher's pitch, he likes that outside corner. And Freeman behind 0-2. Again, send us a text, 620-217-1465. Questions, comments, feedback. And the 0-2 coming up from Dane. As Kansas sits farther outside. And that one just misses, and the count moves 1 ball, 2 strikes. I will do my best to keep things updated on the scoreboard. Got to make this switch from baseball to softball, or from basketball to baseball. The 1-2 from Dane now. Deals too far outside. Dane liking low and away, and the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clouds are in, and the weather's supposed to roll in later tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So Larks are fortunate to get this one on the way. Wish they could have played yesterday. It was 71 degrees. And a swing and a miss, but it looks like Tyler Freeman got enough that it's a foul tip. Hard to see, hard to hear up here in our enclosed warm press box. And the count still remaining 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind is blowing out towards left center. 275 down the lines here at Oswald Field. 350 to the alley and 390 to straightaway center. That's a chopper on the ground at Robert. Robert fields it off the hop, throws across to Peyton Neiman, and there's 1 away. So Freeman grounding out, and that brings up Conor Dunaway. Dunaway, the right fielder. Dunaway is a junior from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Dunaway digging in, the first pitch from Dane coming up. And that one fouled back and out of play. And it hits the Campus Activity Center. Located right behind us. The 0-1 from Dane deals. There's a fly ball hammered out to left field. That one is back, and that one is gone. A solo home run for Conor Dunaway, and Bethany takes a quick 1-0 lead as Dunaway puts one over the fence on a fastball that hung just a little bit, and Bethany on top. Wind blowing out, like we said. That one got up in the jet stream. And that brings it Cameron Bozak. Bozak's a left fielder. And he's a freshman from Lemon Grove, California. So a solo shot by Dunaway with 1 away as Dane misses away. Again, we'd love to hear from you guys, fans. Send us a text, 620-217-1465. As that ball deposits over the left field fence. Swing and a miss. A healthy cut there by Bozak. And the 1-1. Dane with a curve ball that fools Bozak. And they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Couple fans out there in right field have parked their cars so they can stay warm. And the 1-2 coming up. That one downstairs and in the dirt, and the count quickly even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we are in the top of the first here from Oswald Field. Got to remember it's Oswald Field, not Yost Center. I'm outside. That's a hot shot, but tailing foul towards the Lark bullpen, and the count riding at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Dane will work out of the windup. And the sophomore deals. And Bozak swings through. And they're now two outs. Zach Kindred, first baseman, batting cleanup, steps into the batter's box for the Swede JV or developmental team. Dane working down and away, finding the black on the lower corner of the zone. And the count 0-1. Kensuke sets up outside a little more. And Dane takes something off, breaking ball, slides over for a strike in the count, now 0-2. Got a text saying, hey, Rusty, I don't know who's texting, but let me know who you are. Tell me who you're watching, where you're watching from. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Dane, but the damage done early on as the home run by Conor Dunaway puts the Bethany Swedes JV on top 1-0. And coming out as Bethany will take the field, Bozak in left, Bojorquez in center, and Dunaway over in right. Forgot to finish writing his name down. Barnes at third with Freeman at short, Dale at second, Kindred at first. Tony Moreno on the hill with Gage Kennedy behind the dish for the Swedes. Lark batting order, Robert Salcedo will lead things off, and Yusei Hondo will bat second, playing second base. Shawn Maple from Australia is in the 3-hole, plays left field, followed by Peyton Neiman at third base. Kensuke Okada catching, batting fifth. Koi Kun is the first baseman, batting sixth, with Shohei Imazumi in the DH hole in the 7th spot. Tate Winfield, right fielder, batting 8th, and Halen David, the center fielder, to roll the order over. So, all right, we got to text someone watching and listening to from us in the cars out in right field. Thanks for the broadcast and letting us stay warm, too. Absolutely, it's a great place to be as long as there's not a whole bunch of left-handers aiming for the vehicles out in right field. In right field, as we are heading to the bottom of the first. And Robert, Yusei, and Shawn all due up here for the Larks in the bottom of the first inning. Tony Moreno, the pitcher, not afraid of the cold weather. He's out there in short sleeves. Lexi played softball here for 2 years. I bet she would have been in all sorts of long sleeves out there in the outfield. And she nods her head. So here we go for Robert and the Larks. I love these home white uniforms the Larks have. Robert digging in, and we're set for action. He's from San Juan, a sophomore. And Tony Moreno will work from the stretch, the right-hander, and Robert's first pitch fouls it back to the fence. Just kind of feel a little bit of weather moving in. Sure was nice to be on the golf course yesterday. The 0-1 coming up. Moreno misses high and away, and we are even at 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom of the first. Robert fouls that one back into the Campus Activity Center roof. And they count 1-2. Larks looking for base runners to start things off, trailing 1-0. Robert, fly ball left field, going back is Bozak, but he's going to move a little bit. That ball got up in the wind. You saw how much it moved on Bozak out there. So Robert flies out to left. And there's one away here. That brings up Yusei Hondo, the sophomore second baseman. He's from Japan. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Text us 620-217-1465. Whether you're a fan of the Larks, fan of the Swedes, tell us who you are, who you're watching, where you're watching from. Moreno misses high and away with the off-speed. And they count 1-0. Some of these weekend games, Dr. Phil Miller will join me up here in the box. Macy Murray's supposed to come up after class for the second game. There's a fly ball to center field. That'll be up. And Bojorquez backs up, came underneath it. You see the wind's a little bit tricky here blowing out, and there's two away. Wind is definitely a little bit tricky, so 2 flyouts here for the Larks, and that brings up the Aussie, Shawn Maple. Shawn's a freshman. And I don't think, and maybe Grant can answer my question, but I don't think there's any lefty hurlers on the Lark lineup. All right-handed as Moreno uses the curveball for a strike to get ahead of Shawn. 2 outs here, bottom of the first. Larks trailing 1-0. That curve stays down low. Moreno working off speed right now. Malachi Swartz texting in. That's who it was. Can't wait to watch his boy Ian pitch. That one downstairs in the dirt, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike. And the 2-1 delivery. That's on the corner down low, a pitcher's pitch for sure. And to count 2 balls, 2 strikes, if you're a college pitcher and that is there, you want to live there all day long. So the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Deuce's wild deliveries. Shawn swings through it. Larks go quickly and quietly. 1, 2, 3. We've played an inning. We'll go to the top of the second with Brandon, Dale, and Kennedy all due up for the Swedes. And we will be back right after this here on the Lark Network.
I've definitely grown as a person to be more confident, and working with my professors, they really want to have a good relationship with you.
I think what makes a good student is someone who is curious, someone who is genuine, really commits to wanting to learn things that will help them in their life and connect the dots between faith and learning. I think those are qualities that make a student that's exciting to work with for me as a professor, and really gives life into what I enjoy doing.
If someone's going to have a relationship with you and then be mentored or discipled by you, they need to feel like they belong and they fit and that you value them as a person.
This year I'm more prepared to help other freshmen and to bring them under my wing, and just helping around campus, learning about the new activities and being able to share that with so many other people.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field as we're heading to the top of the second. Bethany on top thanks to the solo home run by Conor Dunaway. It's 1-0. Top 2. Temperature not getting any warmer. Originally the weather said that it was supposed to be 50, falling to around 48 by 5 p.m. and the weatherman whiffed. It is February. It is fickle February weather. And if you understand, if you're from Kansas, you understand what we say is if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. That was the truth this morning. Morning, like we said, in the open, dawned very nice, very, very gorgeous. It looked like a beautiful day for baseball. But the wind shifted well ahead of where it was supposed to be. and the temperature fell off the table, much like John Smoltz's split finger fastball. James Brandon, the designated hitter for the Swedes, will dig in. I'm impressed. I'm just over an inning in, I've already got a Braves reference. All right, we're well on our way. And Dane will work. That one misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes here to Brandon. Brandon, a freshman from Manhattan Beach, California. That one skips away from Kanske. And the count now, 2 balls, no strikes. For the most part on this junior varsity roster, it's kind of outside of a few players, more of a Western United States feel. As Brandon on the ground, Robert makes a diving stop. Robert from his knees, throw over, will pull Coy off the bag. And so I believe we're going to score that as a base hit. It was just a tough play. Brandon aboard with the single. Robert made a great stop. Throw is off target. I'm not sure. We'll go ahead and score it a hit. Does Lex agree with that? Lexi agrees. So we've got a runner aboard, leadoff runner aboard for Donnie Dale. And here's an interesting stat. In Division I college baseball, NCAA, as Dane will work out of the stretch for the first time this afternoon. There's a little flare. That will dump into right field, base hit there for Dale, and back-to-back singles. And the Swedes with a little something doing here in the top of the second. But like I was saying, in Division I baseball, I believe it is 67% of the time that the leadoff runner gets on that the runner does score. So Gage Kennedy, catcher, will dig in with 2 on and none out. And Dane misses low and away from the stretch to Kennedy. One ball, no strikes here in the top of the second. Got a text saying, watching from Kerrville, Texas, go Tate Winfield. All right, Texas in the house. That one misses away. A nice snag by Kanske behind the dish, and the count 2 balls, no strikes. As Dane still working from the stretch. Good hitters count here for Kennedy. That one gets away from Kanske, and the runners move up. On the pitch in the dirt. The count 3 balls and no strikes to Kennedy. So Bethany knocking on the door. .37, that's down to 35 degrees. So it's fallen the last 4 degrees in an hour. There's a fly ball that will tail, long run, but that will be out of play and foul. Shawn couldn't track it down. As Kennedy swinging on the 3-0 pitch. Very aggressively. Kennedy's a sophomore from Wichita. And they count 3 balls, 1 strike. On the ground, that will be foul past Coy Kuhn at first base. And they count 3-2. Dane has battled back We have our first payoff pitch of the afternoon. Dane deals. Swing and a miss, and Kennedy goes down. That's Dane's third strikeout. And a much-needed strikeout there for the Larks. And that will bring up Gabe Barton. Barton's a freshman. Listed as a pitcher, getting the nod over at third base today. And he's from Chapman, Kansas. And Barton chases high cheese. And the count 0-1. Again, that's a little bit off speed. Fooled Barton. It was upstairs, and Barton's quickly behind 0-2. Dane's trying to work himself out of a jam here in the top of the second. Misses low, and the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great block by Kanske behind the dish. And the count evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dane misses low to Barton, and the count full 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lexi Avalos is on the stat crew for basketball. It's a little slower, isn't it, Lex? There's a fly ball caught for the out. The Larks trying to double up as Shawn makes the catch from his knees out in left field. Dale was able to get back in time, and there's 2 away. Well, Malachi is telling me that it's currently 62 degrees in Overland Park, Kansas right now. That one misses upstairs to the 9th hole hitter, Eli Bajorquez. And they count 1 ball. Dane trying to work his way out. Malachi, don't worry, that weather's coming for you, buddy. The 1-0. Fly ball left field, Shawn circling underneath it and makes the play on the lazy fly ball. So Dane pitches his way out of the jam after giving up 2 back-to-back base hits. Goes 1-2-3, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Larks trail 1-0. Back after this on the Lark Network.
It's crazy to see how far I've been able to come in just a little under 2 years. Years 3 and 4, we're going to have some upper level aviation classes that are going to be really interesting. We're going to be able to instruct for the college, which will be awesome. We'll get to help along some of the younger students.
It's just exciting to kind of reach that process where you've put so much work into it and you have all these people rallying beside you, as well as, you know, instructors, as well as friends and family. And so when you accomplish that, it's an indication of kind of how much you've learned and kind of where you're headed. Right now is a really good time to get into the industry, and so I'm excited to kind of see how much it'll grow and what can come from that.
welcome back to Oswald Field here as we're at the bottom of the second. Malachi's telling me he's not ready for any snow. Got a hello from Fernando, Arlington, Texas, watching Antonio Moreno, Bethany College. Antonio is sophomore from Texas 6A's James Martin High. All right, thank you very much. All right, it's hello from Fernando. So I'm glad Fernando's watching. But it's a little bit warmer down in Texas than it is here. It's 62 in Overland Park, and that's to the northeast about 2.5 hours. Maybe 3 hours. We'll call it 3. We'll call it good 3. The way Malachi drives, probably like 2. Peyton Neiman, third baseman for the Larks, stepping in. Peyton is a freshman for Mount Hope. Kansas, just a little bit to the south, a little bit to the west. And Moreno starts Peyton off with a big curve for the strike. Grant, I texted Chris. So the 0-1 coming up. Peyton on the ground of the third baseman, Barton. Barton, long throw. Peyton trying to leg it out. And Barton makes the play, gets Peyton by a step. So the first ground out of the year. And they'll bring up Kansuke Okada. So Arlington 71 down there. Chris is on his way, Grant. And Moreno with the big curve drops in for a strike in the bottom of the second to Kansuke. He's a freshman catcher from Japan. As Moreno misses in the count, even 1 ball and 1 strike. Slow roller at Barton. Barton fields it off the hop, throws over, and Kansuke out by about half a step. It's getting closer. Barton had to play the first ground ball behind the bag, charges that one, and they're 2 away. So Barton. Koikun digging in here, the freshman from Cheney.
Got a lot of innings we played there, Grant.
And Moreno misses outside 1 ball. First game of the season, the Larks have no stats so far, so we're just kind of filling time as we go. On the ground of the shortstop, Freeman. Freeman cannot come up with it, boots it, and the Larks have their first runner aboard on the error. And that'll bring up Shui Imazumi. Macy Murray texted in saying it's hello from the Access Lab, a lot warmer than outside. Big curve and Coy off to the races, and Coy has the first Lark stolen base of the 2020 campaign. Mace is supposed to join us at the start of the second game sometime, which will be fun because she can run the computer. Fly ball right field. Dunaway trying to make the catch on the runs. And the Larks strand a runner as we've played 2 innings here. From Oswald Field, Bethany on top 1-0. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
The RN to BSN program offers hybrid courses scheduled to promote life balance and also offers a special RN to BSN tuition program. Hesston College provides the education and personal attention expected of a top private school at a cost comparable to public institutions. 100% of students who applied for financial aid received aid.
After classroom and clinicals, the ultimate goal is passing the RN licensure exam and getting a job. 98% of Hesston College's 1,600 graduates have achieved a RN licensure. Graduates are well respected in the healthcare industry with a great record of job placement. My employer loves hiring Heston graduates and recruits them every spring.
Be a part of the tradition of caring as a Heston College BSN student. Learn more about the Heston College Nursing Program today.
And welcome back to Oswald Field as we're hitting the top of the third. Bethany with the 1-0 lead by Conor Dunaway's home run in the top of the first. He'll be batting second this inning. So it's Freeman, Dunaway, and Bozak to start things off for the Swedes. Second time through the order for Bethany. Larks still looking for their first hit of the contest. Bethany with a pair of singles and a home run. We're into the top third. Again, if you guys are a fan of the Larks, fan of the Swedes, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line, 620-217-1465. And Freeman to start this off. As we're in the third. DJ Grant Boyer in the house today. Dane works from the windup. There's a little flare out there, long run, and a diving catch not made by Tate. That's just a tough play in no man's land. Players playing back, and Freeman has a little bleeding single as he is aboard with a leadoff hitter, as a leadoff runner now for Conor Dunaway. Dunaway hit a bomb to left field, short left field. It's 275, but it got over the fence. The wind is blowing out this afternoon. Dunaway jumped on the first pitch he saw. Dane working from the stretch, and Dunaway with a healthy swing misses at the pitch low. And in the dirt, Kunske with the block. Dane ahead 0-1 as he'll deal. That one misses downstairs in the count, even a ball and a strike. All right, Sharon Moreno from Louisiana watching her son Tony pitch. Go Swedes, grateful to have this live feed. Y'all are awesome, thank you. Well, thank you for tuning in, Sharon. The count even 1-1. Snap throw back and diving in just barely was Freeman. Kunske handed that down there. And the count 2-1. Kunske? Okay. So Kunske gunning it down there. As Dane gets a sign. That's a chopper foul. Looks like Bethany had the hit and run on, but that's foul. Or no, that wasn't a chopper foul. It just got by. I thought that was out. And what a throw from Kunske down, gunning out. Freeman trying to go first to third on the passed ball. Kunske let it fly and guns Freeman out. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. What a throw there. So 2-5, and the count even 2. Even. Kunske showing off his cannon. And the 2-2. That one flipped back in and foul. Our count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. I thought it was a swing and a foul tip, but it wasn't. That ball just got by. Kunske gets back to the fence, and he guns him down. Aw, hi, Natalie. Natalie Park catching up on Larks from Frisco, Texas. Her son, Harry, pitched here a couple years back. And the 2-2. That's a chopper up the middle. Long run for Robert. Robert fields it, sweeps it up, throws over. Coy comes off the bag. Tough play as that one's behind the bag. It's going to go as an infield single for Dunaway, and he's now 2 for 2. That's a long run on a chopper that's up the middle. Robert got to it, came off. Throw was a little bit off line, but I don't think the throw would have got him. We'll score it as a hit up here. And we'll see if Grant and Lexi agree. They're gonna agree. Normally we're tough. We're tough scorers up here. Dane working from the stretch with one away. And the curveball drops in for a ball. Little flare. That's going to dump over the head for Peyton. It's going to be a base hit for Bozak. The Dying Quail drops in for a single. And they're now 2 on and 1 away for Zach Kindred. Kindred struck out in his first at-bat. Cheering on Shawn Maple and the Larks all the way from South Australia. It's 5:30 a.m. Lark me up. So Australia in the house. Love it. We're international. Dane finds the lower corner of the zone and the count 1 strike. Awesome. 6 hits for the Swedes through 3 innings. 5 singles and a home run. And time called here, a little gamesmanship. And the 0-1 as Kindred swings right through, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Dane's trying to pitch his way out of another jam. He worked his way out in the last inning after getting 2 on with none out. And they got as far as 2nd and 3rd on the passed ball. Now there's 2 on, 1 out. Fly ball up into the air. Tate coming on. He'll have to play it, and that ball drifting. Tate does make the play as he circled around underneath that, and they're 2 away. Top of the 3rd, Larks trailing 1-0. Rusty, thanks for doing the broadcast. Listening from Erie, Colorado. Go Larks and go Connor Pookie Bear Leach. I'm in trouble already. Connor said not to refer to him as that, but it was in text. Dane checks the runner at first. He'll come set. Checks the runner at second now. And dealing. That's on the ground. You say, past a diving. You say it'll be a base hit into right field. Tate coming up, throwing potential play at the plate. Throws up line. And Bethany has our second run of the game. A snap throw down. And Brandon has the base hit and an RBI for his trouble. Bozak moves to 3rd and a run scores. And Bethany takes the lead. Or adds another run in with 2 away. As it's now 2-0 Swedes. A text from the 540. That's Virginia. I haven't got to that one yet. Love watching the Larks from the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. So 2 away here, and Bethany has tacked up their second run of the contest. Runners at the corners for Donnie Dale, who singled his first at-bat. And Dale takes a strike. Dale's a sophomore infielder from Ozaki, Kansas. There's a little flare, and Dale has his second hit of the game. He's going to get a ribby with that. And the Swedes add another one to the board. And it's 3-0 Bethany here. And no action in the Lark bullpen. So soft hits here outside of the home run, finding green and getting on base. Swedes doing work. We'll talk a little bit as we go on about how the postseason shakes out with the Larks. A little different than it has been in years past. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's been this way for about 5 years now as Dane finds the bottom corner of the zone. Larks have to go 500 or better against junior college competition to qualify for the district tournament. That being said, if somehow they could match up with North Central Missouri and get some type of set as Dane comes inside, misses, get some type of series that would feed in like they did with Brown Mackey back in the day. So we'll see that. Tim said there were, head coach Tim Cole, I should say, said there were talks coming about that, but nothing's been set in stone yet. But they think something might happen. Snap throw back, runner is gunned down. Kunsei picks off another runner as the Japanese catcher showing off his cannon. That's the second runner he's gunned down on the base trying to take extra. But damage done as Bethany with five hits in the inning, scoring 2 runs, will go to the bottom of the third. And the Larks trail 3-0. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
It's crazy to see how far I've been able to come in just a little under 2 years. Years 3 and 4. We're going to have some upper level aviation classes that are going to be really interesting. We're going to be able to instruct for the college, which will be awesome. We'll get to help along some of the younger students.
It's just exciting to kind of reach that process where you've put so much work into it and you have all these people rallying beside you, as well as instructors, as well as friends and family. And so when you accomplish that, it's an indication of kind of how much you've learned and kind of where you're headed. Right now is a really good time to get into the industry, and so I'm excited to kind of see how much it'll grow and what can come from that.
So it looks like the Swedes with a new pitcher here. This is number 28, Braden McAllister. I'm guessing it's Braden McAllister. He's a left-hander. So he's from Roanoke, Texas. We'll go to the bottom of the third. So McAllister coming in to pitch. The book closed on Moreno after two innings. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. So McAllister heading to bat. Tate Winfield to start things off here, bottom of the third here for the Larks. Larks trailing 3-0. The Larks still looking for their first hit as Tate swings through the first pitch he sees from McAllister. So between innings, what we're going to do, fans, is we're going to put the feed off. The camera will go off, but we will leave it up. You'll see the scoreboard. We'll kill the audio, and then we'll be back with the start of the second game. As McAllister, the lefty, misses outside in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tate's a sophomore from Kerrville, Texas. And that pitch fouled off a mile high. Might blow back in, but it will not. Oh, yes, it does blow back in. Didn't know if it was going to blow back in. Kennedy checked it, thought it was going to blow out, and there's just enough wind that ball blew back in. And they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kenny almost tried to catch it with his mask. He checked the fence, didn't think it was coming back, and it just tailed back in. That's how much wind we've got going out, blowing out to left center, somewhere in that vicinity. Looks like Bethany's sending some players out to the bullpen. McAllister working ahead on Tate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Tate swings through, and the strikeout recorded. And so the count, or 1 out for Halen David. the freshman from Arc City. Utility, plays a multitude of positions in his first at-bat for the Larks. And that's a fly ball to center field. Bojorquez underneath it and plays it perfectly. And they're 2 outs. Here in the third. Top of the order now, Robert. He flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Larks still looking for their first hit in the contest. And this game moving right along. And Robert takes a strike from McAllister on the outside corner. That one's too far outside, back to the fence, and our count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. McAllister misses low and too far outside, and our count moves to 2 balls and a strike to Robert. That's a fly ball. That could stay on the infield. Freeman going back and just makes a play onto the grass. Larks go quickly and quietly one more time. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the top of the fourth. Larks trailing here 3-0. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
I've definitely grown as a person to be more confident, and working with my professors, they really want to have a good relationship with you.
I think what makes a good student is someone who is curious, someone who is genuine, really commits to wanting to learn things that will help them in their life and connect the dots between faith and learning. I think those are qualities that make a student that's exciting to work with for me as a professor, and really gives life into what I enjoy doing.
If someone's going to have a relationship with you and then be mentored or discipled by you, they need to feel like they belong and they fit and that you value them as a person.
This year I'm more prepared to help other freshmen and to bring them under my wing. And just helping around campus, learning about the new activities and being able to share that with so many other people.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. I knew I was going to do it. It's Oswald Field. We're outside. Oswald Field here on the campus of Hesston College. We're going to the top of the fourth. Dalton Woody now has made his appearance on the mound for the Larks. And Woody, the sophomore from Cibolo, Texas. Cibolo, Texas, I should say. Excuse me. Bottom third, Larks trailing 3-0 here. Umpires in their cold weather gear. And this will be Kennedy coming to bat one more time. He was up when Kunske picked off Donnie Dale. Kennedy's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And away we go, top of the fourth. As that pitch misses downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes to Kennedy. Count moving, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dalton misses downstairs. On a count of 2-0. One thing I got to see the baseball team do was what they call the Enid Challenge, as Woody misses downstairs, and their count 3 balls, no strikes. And they culminated the event by dividing up into teams. There were teams all through the fall, and the event culminated in playing the Heston College volleyball team. There are 6 teams playing games to 11. The closest one was 11-4. The volleyball team dominating on their field as there's Woody finding a strike. And they count 3-1. It was a lot of fun to watch, and we think maybe next year if we can get that happening, we might stream that for everybody's entertainment. And the 3-1. Woody misses outside, and that is the first free pass issued by either squad as Kennedy draws the walk. And he'll be aboard. Gabe Barton flew out to left field in his first at-bat. So he's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. And there's a strike from Woody. The lower portion of the zone. Lark's really trying to work low and away. And the 0-1. Missing. Kunske looked like he wanted to gun it down. He's picked off 2 runners, and the Swede runners not quite as big of leads as they had in the first 3 innings. Kunske blocks, and the count 3 balls, 1 strike. Here in our third with a runner aboard. And none out. Woody misses, and our count 3-1, excuse me, to Barton. That's inside for a strike. Barton's as we said, freshman from Chapman. Our count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch upcoming for the sophomore righty. Fouled back to the fence. The count remaining full. Roberts trying to stay warm over there at shortstop. That one's foul tipped. And Barton with a little batter's box disco dancing as he stays alive. Back-to-back walks issued here by Woody. And there are 2 runners aboard for the Swedes with none out. Nicer days, we'll have a little different camera angle for you guys. We're in the top of the 4th. And the first pitch to Bohorquez, missing downstairs. So 2 on, and none out here in the Top of the fourth, Larks looking for a ground ball with the opportunity to possibly turn two. Kunske throws down to third base. That one not in time. Runners move up on the wild pitch. That's going to bring a visit to the mound from the Larks. Tim Cole going to talk things over with the right-hander. Where everything's missing. They count 2-0, and the runner's moving into scoring position. Almost looks like the sun wants to peek through the clouds, but I wouldn't hold my breath. As it was 39 degrees at 12, or close to first pitch. It's down to 35. But I think it's fairly comfortable in the press box. We're comfortable here. I've done many games when you're in coats and gloves. No longer the case here, finally. The Best Mullet softball field has a press box that's enclosed. That one downstairs, and the count now moves 3 balls and no strikes. As I don't see anyone up in the Lark bullpen. There's a strike on the 3-0 from Woody as Borges showed bunt. Fly ball right side. That could blow back into play, but it's going to drop foul. And the count now full 3-2. And I'm even not sure that Tate would have wanted to make a play on that. Running away might have been a run. Let it drop foul. And hopefully Woody can get out of this as the count is full 3-2. That's on the ground. That'll be up the middle. C&I single. 1 run will score. A second coming. Throw is cut off by Coy, and the base hit by Borges puts 2 in the book as RBIs, and Bethany adds 2 more runs with none out here, and now the Larks trail 5-0. Lark sticks will have to come up ready for action. They've got to get something started. Tyler Freeman, the leadoff hitter here for the Swedes. He's 1 for 2. Was gunned down over at third base. There's a fly ball to center field. Halen David backing up. He'll make the play. And the first out of the inning on the fly to center. 1 away for Conor Dunaway, who's 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. 2 runs scored, a run driven in. He's already had the multi-hit game, and he's in his 3rd at-bat. Never think it's baseball weather when people are showing up in with blankets. There's a strike at the knees to start Dunaway off. Dunaway looped his first one over the fence to left field. Then singled to left. Swings and misses. He's quickly behind 0-2. Dunaway's the junior from Colorado Springs. Woody misses away, and I count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larks would love a ground ball right here, as we've got someone up in the bullpen, but I can't see who. Both teams with active arms in the pen. Woody misses downstairs, and our count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 coming up. That's on the ground. Chopper Robert, the backhand. He'll make the long throw. Won't be in time. And Dunaway is ahead. 3 for 3. And 2 aboard here for Dunaway with 1 out. So there must be a little bit of a short in that panel because now we've got the scoreboard up and the score running across there. Might be touchy. It might be cold weather. 2 on and 1 out here for Cameron Bozak. Bozak's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. 10th hit of the contest surrendered by the Lark. There's a little flare out there. Halen coming on, makes the play on the slide. No, they say he didn't make the play, but it will be a potential fielder's choice there on the 4th. So Bozak aboard on what would have been a base hit, but it'll go in the book as a fielder's choice. Dunaway's forced out 8-6 at second base, and there's 2 away. That's a hot shot on the ground for Zach Kindred. He's 0 for 2. Out misses outside. And the count now even 1 ball, 1 strike here to Kindred. He flew out to right field in his last at bat as he looks at the strike on the outside corner on the off speed there from Woody, and the count 1-2. Nice block by Kunske on the pitch low and in the dirt. The count 2 balls, 2 strikes with runners at the corners and 2 away. 2 runs have been plated here for the Swedes. They lead 5-0. Strike 3 called as Kindred goes down looking. He's frozen at the dish. But 2 runs across will go to the bottom of the 4th. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
The RN to BSN program offers hybrid courses scheduled to promote life balance and also offers a special RN to BSN tuition program. Hesston College provides the education and personal attention expected of a top private school at a cost comparable to public institutions. 100% of students who applied for financial aid received aid.
After classroom and clinicals, the ultimate goal is passing the RN licensure exam and getting a job. 98% of Hesston College's 1,600 graduates have achieved a RN licensure. Graduates are well respected in the healthcare industry with a great record of job placement. My employer loves hiring Hesston graduates and recruits them every spring.
Be a part of the tradition of caring as a Hesston College BSN student. Learn more about the Hesston College nursing program today.
So even if it takes like a week. And welcome back here to Oswald Field. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Lark's looking to get something started. 2-3-4 in the order. You say to start things off. He flew out in his first at-bat to center field. Lark's still looking for a hit as McAllister, the lefty, coming to work, the sophomore from Roanoke, Texas. And that curve moves too far in on Yusei, 1 ball. The 1-0, that's too far outside, and Yusei quickly ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. Larks have had 1 base runner. Koi Kun reached in the second on an error. Stole second, but was stranded. And Yusei takes a strike on the fastball down the pipe. Bottom of the 4th, Larks trailing here 5-0. That curve misses inside. Yusei well ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike. Not sure which is a better hitter's count, the 3-1 or the 2-0. But a hitter's count, definitely. Yusei looks at the pitch outside, and the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. As a hitter, like that, if you get a 3-2 pitch, or a 3-1 pitch, it's a strike, there's a chance he's coming back with that same pitch, and Yusei was ready, fouls it off the screen, and it stays alive. Larks looking for something, trailing 5-0 here. First game of the season. Larks were 12-25 last year. That one downstairs, and the Larks have the runner aboard. Yusei draws the walk. And the Larks with a leadoff runner aboard for the first time this season. Shawn Maple, the Aussie, stepping in. He struck out in his first at-bat. And Shawn has a fan club down in Australia texting in. There's a strike to Shawn upstairs, and the count 0-1. That one downstairs will even up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Too far inside against Shawn. The count moves 2-1 from McAllister. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And that one too far inside again. That one will get by the catcher, and Yusei will trot down to second on the wild pitch. Kenny could hang on to it, and Shawn has worked the count to 3-1. The Larks now with a runner at second for the second time this season. On the ground, that will bounce foul past the third baseman, Martin. And they count 3-2. So we've heard from some people out there in right field staying warm in the cars. Heard from people on campus staying warm. Payoff pitch from McAllister. Shawn on the ground, base hit, left side. Larks have a hit, and they're going to score a run as Yusei will come in. There is a throw, but it's up the line, not in time, and Shawn Maple has the first Lark hit and the first RBI on the season here for the Larks. Larks tack a run on, and there's none out here in the 4th for Peyton Neiman. Nice piece of hitting for Shawn through the hole on the left side. Bozak tried to throw just up the line a little bit. I don't think the throw even on time on line could have caught Yusei. Shawn leads away over there, and the pitch misses downstairs to Peyton. 1 ball. We're glad you guys are along for the ride here from Oswald Field on the Lark Network. There's a line drive, base hit center field. Peyton has a single. And the Larks will hold Shawn over at second base. And just like that, Larks with a little something doing. Couple runners aboard for Kunske. I'll get it right eventually. Kunske Okada, Koi Kun, and Shui all do up. They call him Kyle. Kunske shows bunt and pulls it back. Takes a ball. So the Larks trying to manufacture a couple runs possibly here with a little small ball tactics. 2 on. And Kunske takes a strike. Our count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. International we go. Watching from New Zealand, go Josh Wilson and the Larks. The 1-1. Kunske pulls it back. Runners go. Stolen base there for Shawn over at second. Peyton will, or over at third. And our count, 2 balls, 1 strike. The count, 2 balls and 1 strike here for Kunske. That's a base hit to center field. Runner will score. Larks have manufactured a couple. 2 runs are in, and Kunske will take second base, but he's going to be thrown out on the far side, trying to sneak into second. Does get the base hit, does get 2 runs, but is gunned out, is trying to stretch that single into a double. But 2 runs across for the Larks, and it's 5-3 with 2 outs, or with 1 out, excuse me, as he's on the put out. That went, I believe that went 8-3 to 4, but some 8-3 to 4, 8-3 to 6. So 2 runs across. That brings up Coy. Coy reached on an error and stole second base. And the pitch from McAllister downstairs. As there's some action stirring out there in the right field bullpen for Bethany. A couple players trying to get warm, get heated, get quick. Swing and a miss. Coy was behind on that, and our count evens up at a ball and a strike. The 1-2, or the 1-1 rather, drops in for a strike, lower corner of the zone, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got a text from former Lark great coach Art Molt saying, on a cold day, it's nice to watch the games from the comfort of his recliner. Thanks for the work on the Lark Network. That one misses downstairs, and we're even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coy is 0 for 1. Larks have strung together a couple hits after a walk, and there's a line drive sharply hit at Dale at second base. Nothing wrong with the swing, just a bullet right at the second baseman, and there's 2 outs. The type when you walk back to the dugout and say, don't change a thing. Shui Imizumi stepping in. Shui goes by the name of Steve. And Shui takes the curveball for a ball that stays too far in. Let's go D-Man. Woody family watching from Cibolo, Texas. Go Larks. Now, breaking pitch drops in for a strike on our count. Even 1 ball, 1 strike. Or excuse me. Yeah, moves even, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 coming up. Swing and a miss. And Shuey quickly behind 1-2. On the ground up the middle, slow roller, gloved by Freeman, throw over in time. Very close to the far side, but the Larks have clawed their way back into this one. They now trail 5-3 after 3 runs in the 4th. We'll go to the top of the 5th here from Oswald Field. Back after this on the Lark Network.
It's crazy to see how far I've been able to come in just a little under 2 years. Years 3 and 4. We're going to have some upper-level aviation classes that are going to be really interesting. We're going to be able to instruct for the college, which will be awesome. We'll get to help along some of the younger students.
It's just exciting to kind of reach that process where you've put so much work into it and you have all these people rallying beside you, as well as instructors, as well as friends and family. And so when you accomplish that, it's an indication of kind of how much you've learned and kind of where you're headed. Right now is a really good time to get into the industry, and so I'm excited to kind of see how much it'll grow and what can come from that.
And welcome back to Oswald Field here. Larks have clawed their way back in, and we'll head to the top of the 5th. Woody coming out for his 3rd inning of work. And the Larks with a couple of hits, walk. Or actually 3 hits right there. 3 in a row after a walk. Kunske was gunned out trying to sneak into second base, and this brings up DH James Brandon, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a run driven in. Fly ball right side going back. That could be trouble. That'll be over the head of Tate. That's off the screen at 350. Brandon thinking 2. Throw on the way, and Brandon is gunned down at second base. Tate with the throw to Robert. He'll get a single, but he's gunned down. Trying to stretch the extra base, and that brings up Donnie Doyle. Larks flashing a little bit of leather out there defensively. Fly ball left side. Shawn playing it, calling for it, drifting back, and plays the Kansas wind perfectly. And 2 outs quickly, just like that, for the Swedes as Gage Kennedy steps up. I'll have to ask Shawn and Josh if they have ever played in a wind like this. That seems to blow all the time. Whether it's blowing in, blowing out, it seems like it. We get some nice days. We do get a lot of nice days, but it sure seems like we get days when the wind blows as that pitch from Dalton misses downstairs to Gage Kennedy. Kennedy 0 for 1 struck out in the 1st and drew a walk, scored a run. As he looks at another pitch downstairs. Woody just missing the bottom portion of the zone. Lark's trying to keep the ball down on a day when the wind is blowing out. We've seen 1 home run already. There's a chopper foul along the left side, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Thank you for broadcasting, supporting number 14, Cameron Bozak, all the way from San Diego, California. Lex is from Cali. She's like, yeah, Cali's in the house. That pitch misses upstairs, and I count 3 balls and 1 strike. Glad everyone's tuning in for this broadcast. Like we said, between games, what we're going to do is shut the camera off. The scoreboard will be up. We're not going to take a break. Then we'll come back with starting lineups as we get our second game going as Kennedy swings through the pitch and the count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Normally we take breaks and reboot everything. We just have one game built. It'll be a long broadcast day here from Oswald Field. Payoff pitch popped up. That will blow a long way. Peyton coming on, and Peyton makes a play, a nice stab at it, making the play. So the Larks forced the Swedes basically to go 1-2-3 after Brandon was caught trying to stretch his single into a double. We have played 4.5. Larks trail 5-3. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
I've definitely grown as a person to be more confident, and working with my professors, they really want to have a good relationship with you.
I think what makes a good student is someone who is curious, someone who is genuine, really commits to wanting to learn things that will help them in their life and connect the dots between faith and learning. I think those are qualities that make a student that's exciting to work with for me as a professor, and really gives life into what I enjoy doing.
If someone's going to have a relationship with you and then be mentored or discipled by you, they need to feel like they belong and they fit and that you value them as a person.
This year I'm more prepared to help other freshmen and to bring them under my wing. And just helping around campus, learning about the new activities and being able to share that with so many other people.
Perfect. Thanks, Lex. And welcome back here to Oswald Field. Jackson Thamar coming in to pitch for the Swedes. Bethany's in Lindsborg, 37 miles up Old 81, north here of Heston. It's not a bad drive to get your developmental squad or your JV squad some work, even though conditions looked great this morning, have deteriorated somewhat. At least there's nothing coming out of the sky yet. Bottom 5, Tate, Halen, and Robert all due up here for the Larks. 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. As we're close for action. Again, fan of the Swedes, fan of the Larks, love to hear from you. Any questions, comments, or feedback about this live Lark broadcast, we'd love to hear from that as well. Lex said she'll answer relationship questions too. She said that between innings. Keep her on the spot. Tate digs in. He struck out in his first at-bat. So the big righty, Jackson Thamar, a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore, 6'4" from DeSoto, Kansas. And his first pitch, a fastball downstairs to Tate, 1 ball. The 1-0. Tate looks at the strike. Thamar took a little bit off of that. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. That one drifts downstairs on our count 2-1 to Tate. And the 2-1 coming up. That will hit Tate, and he will walk down to first base. A free base issued on the old HBP. Halen David steps in. Halen's the freshman utility player from Arc City. Looking for a single here. Larks with the leadoff runner aboard in the bottom of the 5th. Thamart throws over. Tate diving back in. Throw was close. And Tate gets his bright new white uniform really dirty. The pitch. Hand looks at the first pitch over for a strike, as Thamar took a little bit off of that. Varying degrees of gray in this Kansas sky this afternoon. The 0-1. Fly ball right side. Let's stay on the infield. Dale going back, and he'll make the over-the-head catch. One away, top of the order now for the Larks. Robert Salcedo coming to bat. Thamart quick throw over. That almost went through the glove of Kindred over there. Roberts 0 for 2 with a fly out and a pop out. Flew out to left, popped out to short. Runner aboard with one out. And that pitch misses upstairs by Roberts' eyes. There's a little flare out there. That may hang up, though, in the wind, and it will, as Robert is retired on the fly out to Bozak in right field. Yusei steps in. He drew a walk and scored a run in the last inning. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Larks trailing 5-3 here, bottom 5 of this double dip. Snap throw back over. They are worried about the runners with 2 outs. That pitch is the first pitch to, you say it, misses upstairs in the count 1-0. Throw back. Tate skips back home. Skips back to first. In time, the count now 2 balls, no strikes to Yusei. There's a strike from Thamart at the knees of Yusei, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike. Fly ball up into the wind. Long run for Bozak. He's in the corner, and he can't come up with it. That will drop on the warning track. Runner coming home. Tate on his horse, and Yusei is, or rather, Tate scores and Yusei aboard, and we'll see what they want to score that. Bozak was right there in the corner, dropped in. I'm afraid it's going to be an error. He was right there. A run does score. So Tate comes all the way around, and Yusei aboard, and the Larks trail by 1 with Shawn aboard. He singled his last time up. Snap throw back, almost in time, as Yusei was nearly caught leaning. Swing and miss, and the count 0-1. So Shawn 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout and an RBI. Someone brought her dogs to the ballpark. The 0-1 from Thamart. Line drive to center field, going back. That will not be cut. That's to deep center field. Borges could not come up with it. Shawn Maple's going to have a double, and that run coming in, and Shawn has tied the game with a double to center field, and he'll get his second ribby for the day. Second, the first extra base hit of the season for the Larks, and we're all knotted up at 5 apiece in our fifth for Peyton Neiman. Two outs here as Shawn goes to a line drive to deep center field. It's 390 to straight away over the head of Borges. And Peyton digs in where he's 1 for 2 with a single. We're all tied up here in the fifth, 5-5. Larks have made the most of their 4 hits. And it looks like Shawn's coming out. He's a little bit gimpy. And Trevor Crumedy coming in to run for Shawn. Couple of hits for Shawn, couple of runs driven in. A good afternoon for the Aussie. So Trevor coming in to run. So Trevor will lead away with 2 outs. That pitch misses outside. It will get by the catcher. And Trevor runs over to third on the pass ball. We're in the bottom of the fifth. 2 outs. A runner over there at third base for the Larks. The go-ahead run now. They've clawed all the way back. As that pitch misses inside to Peyton. And the count 2 balls, no strikes to Mr. Neiman. Peyton fouls it back into play. 2 balls and 1 strike here for Peyton. Little flare, that could be trouble. That's going to drop into no man's land. Peyton's going to have a base hit, and the Larks have taken the lead on the RBI single for Peyton. And the Larks now lead 6-5. Middle of the order coming up big here for the Larks. All started off when Tate Winfield wore the pitch. He's hit this rally all coming with 2 outs as well. Kunske coming up as he's 1 for 2. As Thamart misses downstairs and away to Kunske. They say that Kunske offered at our count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 coming up. That one misses downstairs, and our count now moves 2 balls, 1 strike to Mr. Okada, who's 1 for 2, with 2 runs driven in on his single in the 4th. Peyton off to the races, swiping second base. So the Larks now showing off some wheels on the base paths. Runner in scoring position, our count goes to 3 balls and a strike. Chopper on the ground at Barton, plays it behind the bag, throw across, and will not get there, and the error. Runner coming home, throw coming down, and not in time, the tag missing. Kunske gets over on the error over there at first base. Peyton comes all the way around and scores. And the Larks now lead 7-5. 4 runs in the inning. Larks' offense has come alive. And that brings up Coy Kuhn. And a visit to the mound for Thamard. Kunske, a catcher that can move, can put all kinds of pressure onto a defense. As the talk going on with the Larks have manufactured 4 runs here in the 5th. Coy Kuhn coming up. He's 0 for 2. As everyone trying to stay warm out there. I think they're trying to delay as much as possible, trying to get the arm in the bullpen, trying to warm up out there. So 2 away here for the Larks. They've scored 4 runs in the inning. A snap throw back as Kunske drives in. There's a curveball for a strike to Coy. Coy's the freshman from Cheney, Kansas. And he'll take a strike, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Cheney Cardinals. That one skipping away from the catcher in the dirt. That one bounced away. And Kunske dashes over to second. Count 1-2 here to Coy. Thamar coming set. He'll deliver. Big curve. Gets by the catcher, and Kunske dances all the way over to third base. Deuces wild across the top of that scoreboard. And a swing and a miss, but the damage done here. Coy goes down on strikes. Larks swing through, get 4 runs up. We've played 5, and the Larks now lead 7-5. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
The RN to BSN program offers hybrid courses scheduled to promote life balance and also offers a special RN to BSN tuition program. Hesston College provides the education and personal attention expected of a top private school at a cost comparable to public institutions. 100% of students who applied for financial aid received aid.
After classroom and clinicals, the ultimate goal is passing the RN licensure exam and getting a job. 98% of Hesston College's 1,600 graduates have achieved a RN licensure. Graduates are well respected in the healthcare industry with a great record of job placement. My employer loves hiring Hesston graduates and recruits them every spring.
Be a part of the tradition of caring as a Hesston College BSN student. Learn more about the Hesston College nursing program today.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. A couple changes out there. Left field, Brandon Moody, the freshman from Andale, moving out there, coming in for Shawn. And now, pitching for the Larks, Edgar Vera from Puerto Rico. Got a text from Puerto Rico. Cesar Morales watching the game. All right. Got a text saying, will the box score be available in the middle of games? I'm not sure if the box score will be up. We're still working out the kinks with the live statting. See what we can do. We're in the top of the 6th. Larks now lead 7-5. Have rallied. They trailed 5-0. Have clawed their way back to take the lead, capitalizing on some things. So the freshman from Puerto Rico coming to pitch for the Larks. As we're in the 5th of game 1. Or 6th of game 1, rather. Excuse me. This will be Gabe. Oh, this is a new. This is Quentin Figueroa coming to bat here for the Swedes. In place of Gabe Barton. Figueroa, the freshman from Houston. And Edgar misses downstairs, 1 ball. Really can't wait to bring a game from Best Mullet Field for softball. It's so nice to have everything on campus finally. That one comes in. No, that was a foul ball hitting the knob of the bat off of Figueroa, and the count now 1-1. Figueroa leaned back a little bit. That hit Kunske off the ricochet. I've been in that situation. It does not feel good, even as an umpire for youth baseball. Count 1-1. There's fastball downstairs in the dirt. I count 2 balls and 1 strike. Edgar misses downstairs, and we move to 3 balls and 1 strike. Fly ball left field. Brandon Moody coming back, makes the play. There's no such thing as a routine fly ball on a windy day in Kansas. Grant, who's running the scoreboard, can attest to that. One away for Bojorquez. And Edgar misses downstairs. 1 ball. Edgar deals, and there's a strike. And our count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom corner of the zone, that's a pitcher's pitch, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 on the curve, pulled the string, and Bojorquez goes down looking. And there are 2 outs. For Tyler Freeman. Freeman 1 for 3. That one gets through. Kunske. 1 ball. Pitched lone in the dirt. And our count 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0 we go as Edgar misses down and away. Edgar comes back with a strike, took something off. And the count moves to 3 balls, 1 strike. Popped up. That could blow back in on the infield. And it will. And Kunske couldn't make the play. That's just a tough play right there, coming in, blowing back. And our count now 3 and 2. That one's punched foul on the right side, but that ball moved all the way back into play. Tate couldn't track it down. On a normal day, that one is out of play, but that ball moved some 25 feet. Wind is howling today, out, blowing out. We're full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Missing downstairs, and Freeman draws the 2-out walk. Tying run to the plate in the form of Conor Dunaway. He is 3 for 3 with a home run and a pair of singles. Dangerous hitter, Dunaway. And one of the 2 juniors on this squad. Chops one foul. Back to the fence on the first pitch he sees. Looks like Ian Leckie up in the bullpen warming up. Edgar's curveball misses away on our count 1-1. Fly ball center field. Halen going back, and he'll make the play as he circles back underneath it. So the Larks get Dunaway out for the first time today. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Larks lead 7-5. We're back after this here on the Lark Network.
It's crazy to see how far I've been able to come in just a little under 2 years. Years 3 and 4, we're going to have some upper level aviation classes that are going to be really interesting. We're going to be able to instruct for the college, which will be awesome. We'll get to help along some of the younger students.
It's just exciting to kind of reach that process where you've put so much work into it and you've had all these people rallying beside you, as well as instructors, as well as friends and family. And so when you accomplish that, it's an indication of kind of how much you've learned and kind of where you're headed. Right now is a really good time to get into the industry, and so I'm excited to kind of see how much it'll grow and what can come from that.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. We think this is Nicholas Brackney coming into pitch. It is. It's Brackney. Brackney wears number 43, a freshman right-hander from Allen, Texas. Shui Imazumi coming to bat in the DH role. He's 0 for 2. Tate and Halen all due up. Larks with a 7-5 lead. And it looks like Ian Leckie up in the bullpen. Ian said he was going to, or Tim Cole thought Ian could be in the closer role for the Larks. And Shui fouls the first pitch off. He sees on the right side, or the left side. Numbers are hard, directions are hard, words are hard. I can do shapes and colors sometimes. The 0-1 coming up. Oh, and misses down and away. And our count 1-1. Shui wants time, thinking over what he's looking for. Brackney missing. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. Our count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike as Brackney misses low and away. (3-1), and that one will not drop in for the strike. Shui walks, and that brings up Tate Winfield. Larks with a leadoff runner aboard. Tate was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Larks have scored 7 runs on their 5 hits. As that one fouled back to the fence on the first pitch Tate sees. I wonder at some point if we ever redo the fencing, if we'll go to netting. Like the softball field. Hesston High School baseball field has netting on. It's actually really nice to watch a game and actually see through. You can see through it rather well. Fly ball left side. That's a towering can of corn. Bozak cannot come up with it. Drops off his glove. Runners are advancing. And 2 runners move up. I don't think that was Bozak out there in right field anymore. So Tate gets aboard on the error. They'll move all the way up to second and third with none out for Halen David. I don't think that... Congratulations to my sons Cesar, Edgar, and Robert, all Hesston players. That's from Puerto Rico. That's on the ground of the shortstop. Freeman plays it across. Not in time. A run's going to score. And Halen aboard after the error over there at first base. The Larks have scored another run. And it's now 8-5. And Robert coming to bat. Five errors for the Swedes this afternoon. Back-to-back errors here. Run comes home. None out with runners on the corners. And the first pitch too far inside to Robert. Looks like there's some fans in attendance here for the first Lark home game. There's a pitch outside corner for a strike. In my days as a Hesston College student, we had a grill on top of that third base dugout, and we grilled during the games. Dielves Saavedra brought me a steak between games. There's a fly ball. That's to deep left center field, and that will not come up with a base hit for Robert. He's going to run coming home. Robert's going to have himself, he's thinking three, potential triple. Robert slips in, and he'll be there. Robert tripling off the wall out there in left field, driving in a pair, and the Larks now have stretched the lead to 10-5 after the triple and the two-run RBI. That was a long run for Bojorquez out there in left field, couldn't come up, or in center field rather, could not come up with it. The deepest part of the ballpark. And the Larks tack on two more. Offense has come alive for the Larks in the last 3 innings. And there's a pitch, a strike to Yusei. Yusei 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 5th, drew a walk. Fly ball left side, but that will tail foul. And the Lark dugout thought it was gone. On the count of 1 to Yusei. That misses too far outside. Our count now moves 1 ball, 1 strike. Or 1 ball, 2 strikes, excuse me. Yusei line drive rips one over into the bullpen. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Yusei goes down looking. And there's 1 away. First pitch swinging here for Brandon Moody. So the count 0-1. And the pitch misses outside. Runner coming home, and Robert trots home on the wild pitch. Larks came alive there, up 11-5. After trailing 5-0, Larks have scored 11 unanswered. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch misses high and tight. And our count 2-1. That one too far inside. Brandon couldn't do anything except wear that. And he'll be aboard with 1 away. That's Peyton Neiman, who has singled in his last 2 at-bats. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. A run driven and a stolen base. Peyton's had a busy day. Brandon thought he was going to take. They're going to call a balk. So Branda will get second base on the balk. And time will be called. Brackney struggling here in the 6th. They're going to talk things over out there. No one's up in the Bethany bullpen. Bottom 6, Larks leading 11-5. Larks have scored 11 unanswered runs. You don't see any action up in the Bethany bullpen either. So Peyton's 2 for 2, 2 singles, a stolen base, a run driven in, grounded out his first time out, up. And he looks at the first pitch he sees from Brackney away. 1 ball, no strikes. Brandon forced the balk by acting like he was going to run. There, Brackney paints the bottom corner of the zone for the strike. And the count evens up at 1-1. And the 1-1 delivery coming up. Brackney coming set. He misses downstairs, and our count 2-1. Peyton swings right through the pitch, and has the count even up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larks on their snazzy white home uniforms. Fly ball, could be trouble. Long run out there for both outfielders, but Borges comes up with it. Brandon Moody tagging up, and he'll move to third. Peyton flying out to center field. And there's 2 away. Kensuke Okada 1 for 3 with a 2-run single in the 4th. Chops one right on the ground at Barton at third base. Throw over and just almost an error, but in time as the first baseman, Kindred, comes up with it. Larks score 4. They now lead 11-5. We'll take a break and be back with the top of the 7th after this here on the Lark Network. Yeah, doubleheader 7. Doubleheader 7. .84 from that delivery point's hard to hit, isn't it?
If it's a fastball, I'd love to not be.
But his slider?
That's what I'm saying. He needs to throw 9 straight strikes with sliders.
there's a heater up there. They're keeping the press box closed. I'll be up. And welcome back to Oswald Field here on the campus of Hesston College. Ian Leckie coming in to pitch for the Larks. As we're into the top of the 7th. Ian's a sophomore from Overland Park. And this is Justin Smith in for Bozak. And Ian misses. Ian's got that sidearm delivery. Misses again downstairs on count 2 balls, no strikes. Ian working quickly behind. 3 balls, no strikes here to Smith from Missouri. That pitch misses outside, and Smith walks his way aboard. Zach Kindred, first baseman. Check that. Yeah, this is Kindred. No, this is Bradley Holdren coming to bat here. So Holdren coming to bat, and he'll take a strike from Ian. Holdren is a 6'1" freshman from Mount Bellevue, Texas. Holdren fouls it back. And the count, 0-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Ian has his first strikeout of the contest. James Brandon coming to bat. No, this is not Brandon. This is Braden Goddard. Ian misses away. I can't want to know. Okay. Okay. Chopper on the ground, glove by Peyton, throw across, and no one can think Coy can't cut. Oh, they say he's out. So there are 2 outs. I just got the news from athletic director Chris Noctegal that this will be it for the ball game. They're not going to bring a second one. The temperature just dropping too fast. So 2 away here for Donnie Dale. No, this is not Dale. Excuse me. This is Tyler Dresscocker. So we're only having 1 game today. Strike on the outside corner on our count now, I believe 0-2. As Ian working here, runner over there at second base. Swing and a miss. And that is going to do it. The Larks pick up their victory and open the season with a 1-0 win here on the day, or an 11-5 win here. They'll move to 1-0. They'll head to Texas here. We're glad you guys came along for the ride. We have a lot of fun. We've got a lot of Lark baseball coming up. Go ahead and check our website, hclarks.com, for more action coming up here as we get forward. As we'll be moving forward, that's going to do it. Final score here, Larks move to 1-0. And they win 11-5. We're going to shut it down and call it good. We'll be back with you here. More Lark baseball coming up. I'm Rusty Witcher saying thank you and have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.